Mirabel International, information echo, weather at 1600 Zulu, wind 090 at 5, visibility 45, few clouds at 25,000, temperature 3, dew point -8, altimeter 3029er. The IFR approach is an ILS. Landing and departing runway 06.
One of the best parts about being at a big airport.
It's a nice airport here.
Well, when you're at a smaller airport, you get used to just turning the one way,
Okay.
getting onto the one taxiway, and then taking off. Whereas when you're at a big airport here, you have 4 different runways you can use, and you have to actually know the taxiing routes
Okay.
to get there.
I'm excited.
Well, first time in a small aircraft.
Yeah.
It's different. There we go.
Nice. I take off easily, yeah?
Yep.
Really it took off fast.
Well, you're a smaller aircraft, so for us, we get to a very low speed and we're able to get off the ground, especially because our wings are higher.
Yeah.
By our wings being higher, we get the ground effect a lot sooner. A little bit of turbulence today.
Yeah. Can feel the plane going like this and bumping.
Yep. Which is a lot better to learn on an aircraft like this, because on a big aircraft you're not necessarily going to feel it.
Okay.
So here you kind of learn how to counter it, adjust.
How long have you been flying?
I've been flying since last February. I had a little bit prior experience being in the military. I was used to flying in the helicopters, used to working with like the air crew.
Okay.
Never flew by myself, but once I was done working with the military, I decided to switch over Civvy side and get my pilot licenses. A lot of my buddies are all F-18 pilots, helicopter pilots in the military, so
Okay.
I fly Cessna and they fly F-18s.
So you've been flying for a year or 2 months?
A year.
A year. Okay.
Last February. So I'm doing my commercial license right now.
Okay.
As soon as that should be done in the next 2-3 weeks. Once that's done, I do my multi-engine, my IFR, and then hopefully get a job somewhere.
Wish that.
I could always re-enter the military as a pilot. I haven't offered the ability to do so, but it depends what I want to do when I get to that point.
Okay.
It's long commitments being in the military.
Of course.
You can turn right on Juliet and stay on Juliet if you don't mind.
Will we have the sound from the airport the whole time? The whole time?
So we're going to have it up until the point where you can hear him on the radio.
Okay.
Say I could change to the en route frequency.
Okay.
Once that means I'm leaving his control area, so he's no longer watching out for other planes for me.
Okay.
We still look out for other planes in case he doesn't necessarily see them.
Okay.
But I'm in a controlled area, so he's controlling what I'm doing. He's watching me.
Okay.
Once I leave that terminal, I change over to 126.7,
Okay.
and it's me by myself looking for other aircrafts. And then once we get towards Three Rivers, we'll change over to the Three Rivers frequency.
Okay. Can you go wherever you want, or you have to follow a corridor?
Right now we're in uncontrolled airspace, so we can go anywhere we want. If we were flying IFR, instrument flight rating,
Yep.
there's specific rules you have to follow. So you have your airways and you have your air routes,
Okay.
and you have to basically just follow that direction.
Okay.
But see, we're in VFR, so we're visual flight rating, so we can see where we're going, and we follow any way we want. If we were flying, like if we're flying for the purpose of going to Three Rivers in a commercial context, then we would fly a specific heading, specific route to get there.
Okay.
But all that's normally predetermined on the ground. So we'll fill out our paperwork, we'll have our charts, we'll have everything drawn out on our map, and then we just have to follow it.
How do you feel when you fly now? Are you still nervous?
No, comfortable.
Comfortable?
Well, because you're put into a lot of situations while you're first starting out, where you're nervous for your first solo. So you go on your first solo, you fly.
Yeah.
You're nervous because you could take the aircraft off, no problem. But the question is, can you land it again? So you get nervous, then you get that done, you're like, okay, so you start getting confidence, you get used to it. Then you start making your own mistakes when you're flying.
Yeah.
So I've come in solo and landed, and I've messed up. I've struck the nose wheel instead of the back wheels, or I've come a little bit too far down the runway, so I took off, went back around. So you start to make mistakes yourself, and you start correcting those mistakes, and then it just becomes natural, and you gain confidence.
Was it a lot to learn in 1 year?
Yes and no. I find flying was always easier for me.
Okay.
It was the theory that I found was the harder part, because there's a lot of information being thrown at you in about 80 hours. And a lot of it's self-studying.
Yeah.
It's not like high school or university where one semester you learn this information and then next semester is new information. You just do your tests on that new information. It's all the information you have all together, and that's what becomes the difficult part.
Okay.
Even now, doing my IFR exam and doing my prep for it, it's all information I learned back when I was a private pilot student back last March.
Okay.
All that information still comes up now. But it's enjoyable. No better office than up here. But I also find piloting kind of helps you get rid of your ego.
In which way?
You kind of, when you first start out, you're kind of like, oh, this is going to be like an easy job, you know? You're going to be like, ah, it's just like driving a car. But you start to learn that it's not so easy. Just for a landing, there's like 5-6 different ways we can land an aircraft. That you yourself, the pilot in command, has to make the right decision. And you're multitasking constantly. You're listening to radio, you're checking your charts, you're checking your paperwork, make sure you have all your right times on your right frequencies, making sure your passengers are okay, you're looking where you're going.
Yeah.
It's pretty bumpy. All that's just turbulence.
I'm in good hands. So when you're flying like this,
Yep.
what do you think of?
Think of just everything going on, what to do,
Yeah.
like my steps of what I'm going to take, where I'm heading. I'm 100% sure that's the airport. How am I going to enter the airport in a safe way? Also, you're constantly scanning for traffic. So right now, what we're basically doing is we're trying to descend to the circuit altitude.
Okay.
So it's usually 1,000 feet above the elevation in the area. Once we're there, seeing how it's runway 05, we're landing on this side. So I can either go directly in to final, or I can cross over the runway, come around properly, and do a proper full circuit, which is what I'm going to do, just so we can get the good video and everything works out perfectly. You always have to watch out in these areas for other people who aren't necessarily paying attention. That's probably the most dangerous and the most stressful part. It's not necessarily knowing where everybody is.
Okay. We really feel that we're going down right now, huh?
Yeah, well, especially with all the trees around, we're going to hit a lot more turbulence.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Woo.